What's going on, guys? ShadowNinja here, and today I want to talk about the next Battlefield game. It has been labeled as one of EA's most ambitious projects, and we'll be going over the information. So the details specifically are coming from EA's CEO Andrew Wilson in a financial call. But before we jump into that information, just want to mention if you guys enjoy the content and want more from me, can't promise all the Battlefield content because we are in the waiting game, but again, we'll definitely cover it. Definitely, looking forward to what's going on. Hopefully we get it back on track. Hit that subscribe button and bell to be notified when I do drop more content. There's also some other stuff on the channel you might enjoy. But with that out the way, let's jump in and talk about this exciting news that Wilson had to say about the next Battlefield game in this financial call. So first up, he states this is not just one of our top priorities, speaking about Battlefield, it is also one of the most ambitious projects in our history. We have brought together the very best team compiled with the resources and technology they need to deliver an epic Battlefield experience. He goes on to say some good things about the team like this: our team's unique ability to listen, learn, and draw inspiration from the community to deepen connection with the franchise, a talent that has drawn over 25 million players over the last 12 months. I don't know about you guys, but I am super excited for this game to let me down. Yeah, I couldn't fake being excited. Part of the reasons why I really want to make this video is that this is not the first time Andrew Wilson has said some devious shit like this. He has said something in the same realm and lines as Battlefield 2042, and we saw how that launched. And I don't want to be harsh, but this next game needs to do a lot to bring back that Battlefield identity. There was so much damage done, and to the point where I will be honest, I feel like I forced myself to want to love this game, and quickly, while forcing myself to play it, I couldn't. I quickly just I gave up. I gave up on this franchise. And yes, Battlefield 2042 is in a better place than it was at launch, but if you compare Battlefield 2042 to other Battlefield games like Battlefield 5, I think it's a massive step back. And I'm not a total fan of Battlefield 5, but Battlefield 5 is much more a Battlefield game than 2042. Same thing with Battlefield 5 compared to Battlefield 1, and then same thing with Battlefield 1 compared to Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4, granted, there were some serious issues after the launch of the game. Let's not get it twisted, even though I love that game, one of my favorite games of all time. It still had foundational greatness among the foundations that it was made of, and EA Dice and LA Dice, or EA LA Dice, whatever it was called at the time, really did a lot of great work to make it the game that it could be. But the problem is that these past couple installments, the Battlefield identity has been stripped away, and that's a massive problem. Now, this isn't me saying I need Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4 again, but I need something as good as that. Most importantly, with features that set the game apart from other shooters on the market. The problem with Battlefield 2042 is that it truly did feel like a shooter that was trying to take things from other shooters, blend it together, and package it as a product. That is something Call of Duty was doing with the advanced movement cycle, or at least their period, and it really showed and really hurt when it came to players enjoying it. They stepped back, they did more boots on the ground, and they stopped trying to steal completely from other shooters, and it's worked out better for them. Now, I'm not saying Call of Duty is a great shooter by no means, but it's tolerable to the community, it's tolerable to me, and I play it a lot. It's certainly doing much better than Battlefield right now. It is wild to me that ever since Battlefield 3, the franchise has focused on less and less and less on the destruction feature that is so core to Battlefield. And I get it, destruction, all these different things, but it is crazy that Battlefield 3, a game that came out back in like 2010 maybe, I'm blanking on the exact year, had way better destruction than the product we see in 2042, a game that has been separated by over a decade, if I'm not mistaken. That is absurd. Granted, mass destruction like we saw in Bad Company 2 can lead to some dull, stagnant gameplay, but also that was kind of the fun part of Battlefield, and it was fun to play. It truly was a sandbox environment that, hey, here's all these different weapons, go have fun, go make your Battlefield moments. That's what Battlefield's identity really had, and it was, I guess you could say, falsely advertised with 2042 and just wasn't present. Some of the chaos, some of the mayhem, some of those things that really facilitated Battlefield's moments were just not there in the recent installments, especially in something like 2042. And one thing I will say is this: the devs that made 3 and 4 are not there anymore. So it's up to new talent, new devs to kind of try to find that magic again. So I'm not saying get the old devs back, but it's kind of hard for me to say that, they draw inspiration from the community to deepen their connection with the franchise when they're not even drawing inspiration from former devs and what their work was. It is truly just statements that don't really mean much to me because it has been shown the complete opposite in the product of Battlefield. Also, we're going to need EA and DICE to get their shit together with an actual meaningful content pipeline, because it is wild that we got more content in year one of Battlefield 4 post-launch than a live service Battlefield 2042. For some reason, the whole spin, the whole idea of live service and seasons was to bring more updates to players in a shorter, quicker time, and to make sure that they felt that there was constant updates and a new reason to play every couple months, 4 months, 3 months, whatever it is. Battlefield, for some reason, has gave us less content rather than more content. Battlefield 4 is a prime example of post-launch content that was incredible. They really did deliver on every single update. They gave us new maps, new weapons, and things like that, and it was awesome to play. The problem with Battlefield 2042 is like we'll get 2 maps in a year, whereas Battlefield 4, we would get 7 maps, 8 maps in a year. And granted, apparently, making these new maps is a complicated task with bouncing and things like that, but the pipeline and the structure and the identity, they're still there. It makes no sense that EA has been delivering a piss poor live service model where Call of Duty arguably has taken the live service model and given the players more content, especially with Modern Warfare 3. The amount of content, new maps, map variations that they put out, and weapons is absurd that Battlefield can't even do the bare minimum of what they did before with Battlefield 4. So content pipeline needs to be done, but overall, just want to provide this little update that yes, this is what is said. I just want to urge you guys, don't fall for this shit, especially from the CEO of EA, who in the same call said that EA was going to be the world's greatest games company. Oh man. I'm not saying EA is the worst, because I do think Ubisoft takes the cake on certain things on like that, and then what's going on with Square Enix and their parent company, but I can't take what you're saying serious if you're gonna make a bullshit claim like that, which we all know is not true. It's not true. EA has proven that they are far from the world's greatest game company. If they want to be like that, they need to make massive leaps forward in better product for the consumer and just better games, because they shitted on single player games, and yet their best games of late were single player games. So clearly they don't really know what the hell they want to do, and they're being proven wrong by their own devs. So again, it's hard for me to take this serious, but yeah, leave your thoughts down below on what this guy has said. If you guys want to share any of your thoughts, if you guys enjoyed the information and the content, definitely drop this video a like, helps out the video a ton. And of course, like I said before, if you guys want more content from me, can't promise it's always going to be Battlefield right now, because we're in the dark and about the next game, and we have nothing to talk about with 2042 or the next game. Subscribe if you want, but and hit that bell to be notified. But yeah, that's all I gotta say on this one. Hope you guys have a good one. ShadowNinja here, and I'm out.